Hello, my friend. This is Amy Thomson, and I have a general reading for you. This one I found just came to me. It was freedom through vocation. I'm not quite sure why that was channeled to me, but it's definitely something that's very, very important. And so I'd like to channel your reading. Keep in mind, this is a general message, so it is for many people. So take what resonates and leave the rest. I have not pre-shuffled any of the cards because I want this to be guided and this to be completely live with you, even if at this point you're watching the recording. All right, so let's get into it. All right, surrender. Surrender is the very, very, very first card that's coming up. Now, if you have been getting intuitive nudges, intuitive vibes, some kind of calling, something that you feel is a gift or a skill or something that you're really being led somewhere spiritually, then maybe there is something there for you. When I say maybe, it's like the message I'm getting is definitely there's something that's there for you, some kind of seed for you. It's already been planted. You're meant to follow, but don't follow blindly. Okay, there is following because you're surrendering, but there's also being keenly aware of whether you're receiving the like a God-given spiritual download or if it's coming from something else. Okay, because I always try to make sure that I don't guide people in the wrong direction where they're listening to things that are anxieties or fears or things like that, right? So you're going to know if it's for the highest and best, if it's coming through and it feels like, yes, it's the right thing. It feels really good. It lights you up. It makes you feel like this is right. And this is going to like be of service as opposed to like disservicing anyone or disservicing anything. It's going to like, when you learn to really fine tune the vibration, you can really pick up on what's for your highest and best versus what are all the other thoughts and ideas and things that come in, because all of us have the ability to receive information from various people, places, and, different communications. Okay. We all have that ability, but it's like, which one is the right one for us to listen to? So this one here is surrender, because this is saying that you already actually know. There's something that you know that you're meant to do, something that is just right for you. And you need to let go and trust, have faith in the process, have faith in the divine. When I got this, like I just wrote it on a piece of paper, freedom through vocation. And then I'm doing the reading several hours later. But I remembered vocation as in like a vocational school or something like that. But I decided I was going to ask, I asked Alexa for what the definition of vocation was. And she gave me, the first time it was like 3 definitions, and then there was another 5 definitions. But one of them is like a spiritual calling or a calling to follow God. So if you're someone who's religious, this might be something that is a sign for you, okay? If you're not religious, that's totally okay. There's going to be things that are calling to you or something that is really like nudging you intuitively for you to follow and check into. So it could be that it's some kind of work or some kind of gift or skill or some area that you want to pursue, but it is to surrender. So I surrender control and allow every brainchild to be exactly what it is. I don't push them or pull them or force them into well-starched neckties. I let them forge their own path. Turns out brain children, also ideas, are a lot like real children. You can guide them and nudge them and try to convince them to be sensible. Because, for God's sake, living out of a van isn't always as romantic as it sounds. But they'll go where they want to. And smelly van or not, isn't that a beautiful thing? So this is like surrender to having those ideas and those nudges and following those callings and being open to where things take you, okay? There's going to be something that is going to open up on your path that is like, okay, I'm channeling this message because I can see it very clearly. So when you surrender, you're going to be taking your first steps, right? There's going to be certain things in the direction that you're headed based on the nudges and the intuitions that you're getting right now. But very shortly after you start to show this applied faith, like very shortly, you're going to be shifting from what you thought you were doing. There's going to be some kind of like blessing or some kind of gift that is going to be like dropped in your lap. Okay. It's like almost like as a here, glad you've been listening. Finally, we can give you this. Okay. So there's going to be some kind of really wonderful blessing or some kind of change of direction that it's going to give you. Like it could be either or, because again, this is a general reading. So you're either going to get a change of direction or a wonderful blessing. It's either way, it's going to be something good. Okay. It's like you take this step, you show applied faith, and something good is going to be gifted to you. And what I'm trying to say is like the package in the beginning might not show up and look like it's the best package, but it actually is. So trust that vibe, trust, go towards it. And let's see what else we got in your reading. Wounded child. Okay. Now, if you've got any fears, oh, an addiction. Addiction just jumped right out and it was turning to the right. Okay. So we got wounded child upright, addiction to the right. So these cards, I love them, okay, because this one here is from the Shadow Oracle deck, and this woman actually lives in my region. I got these cards from her live and she did my reading. But anyways, the wounded child, like these cards have like here's what's happening, and then also an affirmation, right? But this one is, you throw tantrums to get what you want. You constantly seek validation. Okay. And the affirmation is, I create with joy and a bit of a giggle. I am a healer. So with this, something that you've got, again, I'm channeling this stuff. So something that you've got is a healing aspect of you. So wherever you have been wounded and wherever you're healing or have healed, this is where you need to bring that to guide people for the next step. Okay. Now, you may still not be confident enough. You may still be seeking validation. You may still feel like you're worried about putting yourself in the environments or the things that could cause you some kind of step backwards, or some kind of habits or addictions or things that could cause you to step backwards. And that in itself is an addiction. Okay. You're projecting your addictions to being hurt, being wounded, things not working. Yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? A couple days ago, I did a reading on lack consciousness. Okay. So this has something to do with that as well. But instead of like lack consciousness, it's a wounded consciousness. It's like something that is like, it's a victim mentality, but it's not totally like you might not relate to yourself as a victim. Okay. But there's something where you haven't seen. Yeah, there's a huge blind spot. Okay. So it's not your fault at all. There's like a huge blind spot where you haven't actually seen how the ripple effect, or there's like a certain thing in your life that kept playing over and over, right? There's a certain pattern, certain thing, and you were going through this because there was something you were trying to get to, but that getting to was an addiction. Like, and it could just be like you're self-motivated and you're aware and you're go-getter and stuff like that. But there's an addiction that is like, it's not coming from a place of love. It's not coming from a place of service. It's 100% needing to fix. And this is a message about like, do you want to carry this into your future? Because that's what's happening right now. And for you to take responsibility for the fact that you do have some wounds, you do have some things that have not quite healed yet. I'm going to read this, okay? It says, your addictions control you. You put up smoke screens to avoid truth. Okay, that is definitely what I just channeled, just different words. And then your affirmation is, I'm stronger than my addictions. I am the power in my life. Okay. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps because I'm feeling this. Okay. So it's like, you need to surrender to your higher self. There's some part of you that like knows your path, knows what you should be doing, knows where you need to be, knows who you should be talking to, like all for your highest and best. And there's certain patterns that keep you stuck. And these patterns are your addiction. Okay. So where do you feel you need to be responsible? And when I'm saying that, I'm not saying where do you need to take responsibility. I'm just, it's the other way. I'm saying, where do you feel you're responsible or you have to be responsible? Because this feeling of responsibility actually is part of your wounded child. Okay. Somewhere in your life, you felt like you had to be responsible for people. And because of this, you have to be responsible part, it's actually held you back quite a bit. Now, this is not saying go be completely irresponsible. This has nothing to do with that. This is saying follow that inner calling and that knowing, because your need to be responsible is going to disappear. It's going to disappear because without having to be responsible, you will be responsible. But with this feeling of you have to be responsible, it's actually like keeping you in the always having to feel like you've got to be responsible. And that in itself is an addictive pattern. And that is coming from a wounded child. There's somewhere in your life where people have hurt you, and you don't want that to happen to other people. But also it's like you've seen other people hurt and you feel like you need to be in there and be the protector and the provider, whether you're doing good with the providing or not doing good with the providing. That's not even the issue in this. It is just the fact that you feel like you have to take care of people. Maybe because of something you did or something you said at some point, or you dropping the ball, things didn't go so well and you feel personally responsible for something that happened. And if that is, it's an opportunity for you to heal. Okay. And not only that, there's something coming in, something being very divinely guided for you right now. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you'll start to see a whole bunch of signs over the next couple days that show you exactly what it is you need to look at or do. And it's coming from a place of surrender. So it's not like you have to do anything more to fix it. You know, you've already been doing for years. Next card you got is patience. Okay, so if you're trying to rush the process and you're trying to get from here to here, and you're like, I need to do this because this is happening, I need to take care of this, I need to, again, be responsible. There's a whole thing about being responsible. Oh, and look at this. The card was stuck to it, but this one's awesomeness. Okay. Now, with patience and awesomeness, it's like as you're just surrendering and you're allowing yourself to only take the next step, you don't have to go and have this whole giant map figured out. You don't have to have your next 5, 10, 20 years all figured out. All of that stuff can come into play after you know you're in alignment. Okay. Then it becomes very easy and you don't have to worry about, again, being responsible. That whole, like, this whole reading really is about being responsible. But here's the thing, freedom through vocation. That's what's coming up. It's like, what kind of skills, what kind of hobbies, and I almost said habits, right? Like, do you have habits around your hobbies? Do you avoid things that really make you feel good? Like, and I'm not talking about addictive habits and or anything that's not good for you. I'm talking about like, we all have habits and we all have addictions, right? But it's like, if you take an addiction that's not good, for example, your need to fix things, your need to be responsible, your need to make everything work. Like, do you feel how heavy that is? Like, there's an addiction to heaviness. There's an addiction to feeling the burden. There's an addiction to carrying challenges and difficulties. There's an addiction to persevering. Like, this is very, very, like, forceful, determined energy. Like, you've got to succeed no matter what. When do you get a rest? When do you get breaks? When do you get to just feel the joy of, like, being a child? It doesn't matter what age you are, but when do you get to feel like that? When do you get to feel like you're really free, like literally free to do anything and be anywhere? I mean, I get that if you're watching this right now, you probably have a lot of freedom in your life already, but you don't necessarily feel free, right? It's very important. And you're getting the nudges and you're getting the intuition. So whatever it is you're thinking about that you feel like could be the thing that's going to help you to have that freedom. And I don't mean freedom like you need to escape. It's not like you got to run away from anything. This is something about you embracing the true essence of who you are, like really embracing it and sharing it. Yeah, I'm going to read this one. This is awesomeness. I am capital A awesome, and I refuse to pay attention to anything that makes me feel otherwise. Instead, I congratulate myself for every victory, accomplishment, teeny tiny step in the right direction. Because even the smallest positive action, like reading an affirmation, is evidence that I care about keeping my sweet creative juju juiced up. And isn't that just awesome? Yeah, so the reading really is about you surrendering and you taking any action, some kind of actions towards what it is that you feel called and meant to do. Okay. Additionally, there is something further out that's going to have you bring your value out to more people, but it doesn't start like that. It's like you're going to start to have some things, and you might have already had some things recently being dropped in your lap, some kind of opportunities, some kind of things. And this is really good. This is a sign that you're on the right path, but you need to trust it even more. Okay. You have a few cards that are coming out. Sorry. You got a bunch of them. So you got Green Dragon in inverse, which is decision and changes. You got Black Phoenix in inverse, which is rebirth. You got Gold Metal Element, the Alchemist, in inverse. And you got Trust the Flow, which is the turquoise emotional wisdom in inverse. Yeah, so there's a lot of like stuff you're holding on to about like what the right path is for you. And so you kind of get blocked on certain decisions and changes and things like that. And therefore, this rebirth that's meant to happen, that's supposed to happen for your next evolution and your next stage of your life, right? It has been slowed. It's still going to happen. There's no real stopping the divine flow, right? And that's one of the things is like when you trust that, you know, you're going to end up flowing into the right things anyways, it takes a lot of pressure off of having to be responsible or make the right choice. So you don't have to worry so much. It's more or less just tuning into your inner knowing and starting to follow that calling. And you'll also start to see that things are going to come together. There's different elements that you can bring in. And again, when you take that heavy burden and weight off of yourself, things are going to just start to, like, you're going to start to see patterns. You're going to start to see what things or what people go with what opportunities come up. And following that, like, step, you're going to be getting faster and faster with given the right steps for you. So as of before this reading, the message, like the heaviness that I'm feeling from before this reading is just a lot of responsibility, a lot on your shoulders. And first off, I acknowledge you for being someone who is like dedicated, and I'm getting dedicated to your family, dedicated to your friends or your team or your lovers, or like anyone who is like there's a deep dedication, even if you've had parents and parents who even passed or friends or like there's something to do with you made some kind of commitment earlier on in your life that you would take care of things. And that's something that you've held on to for years and years and years. And it's prevented you from listening to this inner knowing and this voice. And it's not that you can't do both. Okay. So what, like, the message I'm getting is like, you will be able to be responsible and quite responsible, but carrying that weight and that burden and the way you've been doing it has actually been some kind of like huge hindrance for everything that you're meant to have in this lifetime. So there's really, really awesome, great things coming. Okay, let's see what else we got. You have joy of the process and permission. I give myself permission to live my best, biggest, dreamiest dream life. I deserve to make money doing what I love. I'm able to create without suffering. I can be one of those people who lives inside a Pinterest board. After all, it'd be a shame to make my best life just sit around unlived, waiting for me to show up. And someone's got to water those upcycled wine crates full of succulents. Okay, this is so bang on for your reading. And then joy of the process, all right? And see how he's sitting inside that little hot tubby thing? This is actually something that we're looking at investing in, getting one. It's really cute. It kind of looks like the one that I was thinking of getting anyways. So, except for we could fit probably more than a walrus in the one we're looking at getting. So I love to create, which must mean I love the process of creating. The actual thing is just the end result. I assign my goodness, and it doesn't even matter if you get messy in the process. It doesn't matter if you screw things up in the process. It doesn't matter. The joy of the process is the key. All right, so the actual thing is just an end result. Assign the really doing it and getting it done game is over. So for now, I'll enjoy the game and soak in that process like a champagne-filled hot tub, or perhaps something cheaper and a lot less sticky. A hot tub full of coffee creamer? Ew, that sounds gross to me. But anyway, some people would like that. I'll figure it out. It's a process. So yeah, don't be afraid to get messy. Don't be afraid of things not working in the process while you get things to work, because it is a process. So feel free to get in there, get a little bit messy, get a little bit dirty, enjoy the process of stepping into yourself and living your true power and your true calling. And I'm curious to know, and if you're willing to share it in the comments with me, I would love to know, what is that little voice, or, the vibes that you're getting in your body, or what's your intuition telling you that you feel you're meant to be going towards or meant to be called? Where is it you feel like a deep need? Like the thing that's coming to mind for me right now is I really want to get into improv. I've not really done that since, like, I would say high school maybe, but I would love to do improv. I find it so fun. And I keep telling myself that I got to be responsible and it's not a priority and stuff like that. So if that's what you're going through, I totally get it. I did not get the vibe this was my reading today, but it could come into play another day for me. But if this resonated with you, I would love to know what came to mind for you, and I would love to hear what you thought. Okay, I will talk to you soon, and I'm wishing you the best of luck in throwing off all that responsibility burden, because it doesn't serve you, and going towards what really makes you happy, because you're going to be gifted something very big and beautiful. And when I say big, it doesn't mean like this humongous thing. it could show up as looking like something small and insignificant. But what's going to happen is it's going to shift your trajectory into something that is way better than what you had expected. So even though I'm saying it's something big, if you're looking for some grandiose thing, which some of you who are watching this, you might get gifted something actually really big and grandiose. But for most of you watching, it's going to be something that seems a little subtle in the beginning. But the long-term effect of it, it's just going to take it off on like this little trajectory. And it's going to make such a big difference because you're going to be way more where you want to be versus where you started. Okay. And it's not going to take you off of your path. It's actually going to be bringing you to where you're meant to be. Again, freedom through vocation. Okay. This is the exact thing I channeled earlier. Looking forward to seeing you in another reading and reading your comments. All right. Take care. Bye. Peace.